welcome to the June 2024 edition of Florida by the Numbers. I'm Sheridan Morby, Senior Research Economist for the Florida Chamber Foundation. I'm excited to be walking you through Florida's latest economic metrics. Let's dive in. Let's take a look at the floridascorecard.org for a high-level look at the latest economic data. This data tool is publicly available online and provides data at the state and county level. It covers a variety of data points, such as net new jobs, open jobs, unemployment, consumer sentiment, and housing statistics. Now let's get started with what's changed with our labor market since last month's update. Employment is nearing 10 million jobs in Florida, with an additional 6,000 jobs added last month. Florida gained 222,200 jobs over 1 year, which is an annual growth rate of 2.3%. Although the monthly and annual growth rates are slower than April, Florida's labor market continues to be steady, and a steady economy is a strong economy. We also analyzed these job changes by industry. 3 of the major industries saw a decline in jobs, but the dips were all less than 1%. For the first time in months, construction added a higher percentage of jobs than education and health services. We will keep an eye on the construction industry as it sees rapid growth. Unemployment remained unchanged in May at 3.3%. The steadying out of the unemployment rate brings balance into a labor market that is experiencing workforce shortages, like Florida has for the last few years. Currently, for every 100 open jobs in Florida, there are 91 Floridians looking for work. That gap has narrowed significantly at the state level, but it still varies by county. For example, in Alachua County, there are 58 unemployed people for every 100 open jobs. In some counties, like closely neighboring Levy County, the labor market challenges are different, as there are more unemployed people than there are open jobs. The floridascorecard.org shows the workforce gaps in every county, so be sure to visit the scorecard to see what workforce challenges and opportunities are present in your area. Closing Florida's talent gap will require the training and hiring of Florida's untapped workforce. One area of that population that our research team has recently analyzed is disconnected youth. Keith Richard, our Vice President of Research, recently released a report about disconnected youth. He found that 11% of youth in Florida are considered disconnected, meaning that they are not working or in school. 1/4 of those youth also did not have a high school diploma or GED, limiting their potential to enter the workforce and help close that gap. Scan the QR code on the screen to read the report and find out some of the opportunities that exist to overcome this workforce challenge. We know that the talent pipeline begins as early as elementary school, which is why the Florida Chamber Foundation is starting the conversation about the importance of K-12 math education. We'll be hosting virtual listening sessions at the end of July and are looking for businesses, K-12 administrators, and parents to join this conversation about how we can strengthen Florida's talent pipeline by aligning math education opportunities and the needs of the future workforce. Now back to the data. Taking a look at the single-family housing market, monthly closed sales were down slightly in May compared to a year ago. Overall, the newest numbers reveal a steady single-family housing market. This dip in sales was less than 1%, and the median sale price increased by under 2%. Inventory continues to rise, meaning that those prices should remain steady in the coming months, and we will be closely watching to see how sales respond. A topic that continues to be top of mind for consumers and business leaders is inflation. Our research team tracks the inflation at the national and regional levels on the Florida Scorecard, staying up to date as the Federal Reserve continues to discuss potential changes to interest rates. The beginning of 2024 saw unexpected increases in inflation, but the inflation rate dropped for the second consecutive month in May. Right now, the national inflation is 3.3%. And the southern region inflation is slightly lower at 3.2%. Miami-Dade continues to have the highest metro area inflation in the country, although it is down significantly from the past few months. Earlier this year, the Florida Chamber Foundation released our 2024 economic forecast. Since then, we have been vigilant in staying up to date with the latest metrics and seeing how they align with our forecast. The economy has performed as expected, as inflation dips likely point to interest rate cuts towards the end of this year. Housing prices are in line with our forecast, active home listings are up significantly, and job growth is slower than last year but holding steady. We look forward to an update on Florida's income migration this week and are confident that we will remain number one in the country according to this new data. As we look ahead to the next month, we anticipate the release of new income migration figures, as well as the 2024 K-12 reading and math results. To stay up to date, as soon as those metrics are released, we have a couple of resources for you to stay informed between now and next month's edition of Florida by the Numbers. Follow at FloridaBTN, which stands for By the Numbers, on X or Twitter, where these and other updated figures are posted regularly. Also, be sure to check the floridascorecard.org on a regular basis. These expected metrics will be added as soon as they become available at both the state and county levels to help Florida's leaders lead with data-driven insights. The Florida Scorecard and our team's accompanying research and analyses on these metrics are made possible by the Florida Chamber Foundation's community development partners, companies with a statewide footprint committed to fueling the research and solutions for Florida's long-term economic success. If you have any questions regarding the topics covered today or the work of the Florida Chamber Foundation, please reach out to me through the information on the screen. From everyone at the Florida Chamber, thanks for tuning in for another update on the metrics that matter as we work to move Florida to a top 10 global economy by 2030.